The Jackal is compelled to admit that was an awesome display of violence. Action-packed sequence, evoking terror in the heart of the evildoers. But Stone Cold must be commended for ultimately allowing the park predators to live, because, I mean, they were bullies, and they were cowardly to threaten the maternal one and her offspring. And, I mean, to compound their crimes, they lied when they said that Fair Samantha was behind it all. Right?
I'm sorry. I can't do this.
Do what? I'm the one who kissed you.
No, Lucky. This is my fault. I made this happen.
There's no way that Samantha's guilty. She has to. I mean, you saw it. I mean, you saw those guys. You could tell that they were guilty even when they were denying it, so it would only make sense that they would lay false blame on your ex-beloved. I mean, the DA of Darkness has to be behind this. I mean, yes, of course, he would send out his winged monkeys to do his evil doing and then tell them to lay blame falsely on Samantha should they get caught. I mean, it's so typical for the DA to frame Samantha. Like last year with Darth Alcazar's flash drive, she's as innocent now as she was then. And she would never, ever terrorize the maternal one or her offspring.
She already did.
Okay, listen. You may have initiated the kiss, but I certainly made it easy. Lucky, I found myself drawn to you. We've been in pretty similar situations, me with Jason, you with Elizabeth, and you've been so sympathetic.
Because I understand you.
I know, and I guess that's why I find myself, talking to you and asking you to come over and even hiring you as my bodyguard.
You know what? You may not even realize it, but you're mixing up what you need with what you want, and you need a bodyguard. But it is a way you may stick it to Elizabeth.
Okay. That's fair enough. I will admit that I did enjoy seeing the look on her face when she found out that I hired you, but you know what? It's completely selfish, and you have to work on your marriage, and if you're in this, it's not good.
Sam, don't worry about it.
There's a lot at stake for you. Lucky, Jason and I are over. You and Elizabeth are still together.
You know what? My relationship is not your responsibility.
Look, you've been a really good friend to me. And I should have been more considerate. You don't need to worry about me, what I might do, what I might say. So I'm really asking you as a favor right now to call Rodriguez and see if somebody else can get down here.
You need a bodyguard you can trust. And I want to be that for you. If Elizabeth can't handle it, too bad.
It's pretty clear what you're doing, too.
I don't know what's going to happen between me and Elizabeth.
Lucky she hurt you. And I'm not judging if some part of you wants to get back at her, but I don't want to make things worse.
Sam, you have no reason to feel guilty.
Oh, Lucky, I am guilty, okay? I am furious at Elizabeth and everything that she's done. You have been amazingly tolerant.
I'm trying to hold my family together.
I know, and I don't want you to do anything you're going to regret.
I don't intend to.
Look, having feelings and acting on them are two completely different things. If you got involved with me and Elizabeth found out, your marriage would be ruined. Okay, she's the mother of your children. There's a lot at stake here.
Elizabeth is willing to risk it.
Doesn't mean you should, too. And I don't want you to resent me. You've been a really good friend to me.
Sam, I appreciate your concern, but I'm not going to live in fear of what could happen.
You are a really great guy. And I think Elizabeth is crazy not to appreciate you.
Yeah, well, I could say the same about Jason. Maybe we're beginning to see the silver lining.
Spinelli, she didn't know what kind of person Maureen was. She didn't care. Anything could have happened to Jake.
Okay, my most humble point is this. Those actions are nothing like this. Nothing like hiring two men to scare Elizabeth and her offspring in the park. I mean, that required nefarious thinking and plotting, okay? And it was deliberately malicious.
That's right, it was.
Right. Well, I mean, it would have been malicious, have the evildoers meant to do harm, but if Samantha did hire them, if she did, then, she just wanted to appear heroic, and save the day. I mean, granted, not a good choice, not a real sane choice, but doesn't it just show that she needs professional help, not punishment? Look, I mean, the evil ones have fled in terror, okay? Can we just stop chasing this and call it past tense?
Hey, listen, I had plans tonight, but he had to cancel. You want to grab some dinner?
I can't. Dr. Glass needs these forms immediately. She's not going to look at them until next month.
Hey, something tells me that you're angry at a lot more than Dr. Glass.
I went to see Sam to talk about what happened in the park with those thugs, and when I got there, Lucky was with her.
In Sam's home?
Mm-hmm. That was my reaction, too. And it turns out that Lucky has accepted a job as Sam's bodyguard.
Oh, okay, wait. You mean that Sam asked Lucky, of all people, to be her bodyguard?
Mm-hmm.
Why would he accept? He's busy enough with his job as police detective, and why would Sam hire him?
Come on, you know why.
You think Sam's coming on to Lucky?
I think Sam hates me, and she knows Lucky is vulnerable.
So what are you going to do?
After everything that's happened, I don't even know if I should object. Okay.
Gus, how you plan on protecting Sam at the TV studio?
And why is that your concern?
Well, surprise, I guess you didn't get the memo, because you're paying for it. I hired Lucky as my bodyguard.
You didn't waste any time, did you?
Well, maybe I should be questioning you about the thugs who threatened Sam and my family in the park.
Question away. I know nothing about it.
Well, she said you would do anything for ratings.
Okay, well, why would I threaten Sam if there's not a camera crew around to record her heroic response?
Because you hate me, and you would like to see me afraid.
Because that's absurd.
Well, did you do it, Amelia? Did you hire some thugs to threaten Elizabeth and her innocent kids? Just to, set me up?
Forget about whether you should or shouldn't object, Elizabeth. Just tell me what's in your heart.
I'm really trying to figure that out in my head. Lucky is still my husband.
Are you sure he's not an obligation or a habit?
I've been faithful to Lucky ever since that one night I spent with Jason last summer.
Physically faithful, yes, but there's such a thing as emotional infidelity, Elizabeth. I'm not judging you. I'm just trying to be honest about what I see.
What about my children?
Kids grow up. You have to genuinely be happy with their father. It's not going to work. When you picture who you want to spend the rest of your life with, is it Lucky?
And why do you always ask the toughest question?
Because that's what friends are for. Okay, so what's your answer?
I have every intention of keeping my promise to my family. So unless Lucky says otherwise, I'm going to try to work things out with him. Look, I had absolutely nothing to do with those men that threatened you and Elizabeth in the park.
Really? Are we just supposed to take your word for them?
Look, your children were threatened too. I would never wish that kind of terror on a child. I'm just glad that they're all right with no lasting effects.
Thanks to Sam, they are.
Look, I may dislike Sam, but she is the star of Everyday Heroes, and I need to keep her injury-free and focused on the show.
I'm glad you have concerns for Sam's safety, so if you've got a few minutes, I'd like to go over some ideas to help tighten up security at the TV studio.
I'd be happy to help however I can. Shall we grab a seat?
Yeah.
Why don't you two work out the details? I'm gonna head home.
Listen, I won't be long. Why don't you wait and
No, I'm perfectly okay.
Listen, I don't want you to go home by yourself at night.
Lucky, I parked in the valet, and you know the security at my hotel is great. So I'll just see you tomorrow. Okay?
You do realize what's going on.
Sam wants protection.
Sam wants you. This is about her getting you into bed as revenge against Elizabeth?
I know exactly what Sam is trying to do.